Do you ever want to give people a piece of your mind? I mean, really let them know how you really freaking feel about something that they did or something around you that just happened. Stick around and let's show you exactly how to handle that situation. You're listening to the Modern Kings podcast, your source of life-changing information for upgrading your lifestyle and unlocking your keys to success. Welcome to Modern Kings. What's happening, everybody? I am your host, King Prime, and I can be found at iamkingprime.com. Today, we will discuss being stoic, handling heated moments and heated people, and keeping it together. And keeping it together is not easy when it affects your headspace and your heart space. At the time of this recording, this is about a month past the Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. Many of you may recall the heated incident between Travis Kelce and his coach, Andy Reid. Now, I'm not going to get into what should have happened. And, by the time that you hear this, this is all old news anyway. But I was reminded of it because I was at the gym just a few days ago and I saw a fully grown man. He's big. He's, working out. He's muscular. He appears to be masculine and he appears to be in charge. And he gets on his phone and he is greatly disturbed by whatever he's hearing. And he appears to be annoyed. And then his voice rises so high that everyone in the gym hears him. And I am maybe about 10 feet away from him, and I can hear every single word that he's saying. And he's saying things such as, "You want me to die? You broke AF anyway." And this conversation went on for 45 minutes. I have seen this person in the gym many times since that incident, but I don't see him the same because a conversation took this person to such a juvenile place. And that's a choice. So those are the things that we're going to talk about today. So some of you may say that I don't know his situation. I don't know his situation. I don't know Travis Kelce's situation. Well, he wanted to win. He was frustrated about something. When you do things like that, you will never be looked at the same again. I'm wondering for this guy in the gym, how do other men, like real men, view this person now? And how do the women see him? If he is having a kitty fit in the middle of the gym, and let's say that he had the option of connecting and dating with someone in the gym, but he's ruined that because of what he put on display, what he showcased. So that's what prompted me to do this episode. So you may be wondering, what is Stoic? Stoicism focuses on not being bothered by what's not in your control. By not being bothered what's in your control and mastering your emotions. Stoics respond to conflict with reason and logic rather than logical, and reasons rather than emotional outbursts. Winning an argument is pointless. Virtue and character are the only things that matter. But Stoics aren't pushovers either. The approach isn't about letting people say whatever they want or do whatever they want towards you. Here's why being Stoic matters. As a man and a leader, you should be drama-free. You set the tone for any and everything around you most of the time. Conflict is always going to happen. Not just because people are difficult, it actually arises because of ego, bad attitude, and office politics largely. And being Stoic is an antidote for conflict. I'm going to tell you, conflict is inevitable. You've got arguments that can occur at work and at home. Sometimes they carry over and they feed each other. Now, if you can shift your mindset to expect it, you can deal with it differently. I always say that problems come in order to leave. Everything is just passing through. You may have heard this story about a storm, right? You either just finished a storm, you're actually in the middle of a storm, or you're about to enter a storm. So essentially, you have to embrace the conflict, and that conflict could actually drive innovation. So how many times have you had someone to tell you it can't be done or that's not possible? Most of the time from small-minded people. And it causes you to get so freaking creative and so innovative that you find a way, because part of you is just like, you told me I can't do this and I know I'm capable. Just because you can't do it doesn't mean I can't. So that's your innovation. That's your creativity through conflict. So when small-minded people approach you with conflict, just take it in stride and find a way around the problem. Here are the moments when conflict arises. Number one, you care too much. Secondly, you can have opposite agendas and everybody wants their outcome to be successful in the end. You can have personality clashes, or you can have significant change within a structure of an organization or significant change to something in your life, and you're just not adapting very well to it. Here's a big one. You got betrayal of trust. Now, I don't know why my mind goes there, but remember Derek Jackson? He would tell all the ladies, how their man is no good, and your woman is watching Derek Jackson and she's like, I need a man like this. And then Derek Jackson was truly revealed. And conflicts also arise when you have thoughtless, irresponsible behavior. Now, men, this is the good part. This is where you want to possibly replay and bookmark this area, because this is going to show you and instruct you on how to be stoic. You have to know yourself. You have to know your audience. Both of those matter tremendously. You must know what's present. Is ego in the room? Is ego present? Is jealousy present? Is attitude present? And this does not mean that it has to come from the other person. You have to look within and know if you are giving that ego to someone else, if you're giving that attitude within yourself to that other person. One of the things that has helped me greatly in knowing myself is the acronym HALT. And here's a breakdown of HALT. Either I'm hungry, or I'm angry, or I'm lonely, or man, I'm just tired. And if you can examine yourself and figure out if I'm dealing with any of these issues, then maybe you want to separate yourself. Maybe you want to tell that person, hey, I know how I'm about to sound because I'm freaking hungry and I'm tired. So you may even be angry and be hangry, but it's worth bringing that to surface for that person to know. You can also work on developing an impenetrable zone. A lot of this could start with a morning routine or an evening routine, just something that sets you up for success during the course of a day. For me, how I go to bed at night greatly impacts how I rise in the morning. When I rise in the morning, the first things that I do sets the tone for the day. So it is not lost on me that, men and women have a rough day or a bad day sometimes. But men, if we can be a little more intentional about setting the tone of our morning, whether that's prayer, meditation, a cup of tea, a walk, calling another person to get yourself in check and on track. It's also going to help you to guard your time. When you don't guard your time, so many things can come in and overwhelm you. And then here comes conflict knocking at your door as well. You didn't even give yourself time to build up resistance to anything. Everything that you think of does not need to be stated. It does not need to be said. So I'm going to recommend journaling. You've got to have a way to consolidate your thoughts. And being able to journal is a great activity to do that. Here's a big one on how to be stoic. Develop your personal development skills. Listen to positive podcasts, read books, listen to audiobooks if you're busy, hang around positive people. And don't shy away from this one. Get professional coaching. There are so many great resources and great people out there that can coach you, and you are worth investing in yourself to become a better version of yourself. Because again, you're a leader, you're leading people, you need to be polished, you need to be sharpened. And you may just say, I can't afford it. Well, that's a matter of self-worth. I think there's no greater investment than a person investing in themselves. And what you really can't afford, you cannot afford to be that guy that is a ticking time bomb. So loaded with pressure that you're about to just burst at the seams because you got nowhere to go. And here's one of my last recommendations on how to be stoic that can help with being stoic. Let me put it that way. Get out in nature. You are not meant to be in front of an electronic device, a television, inside. You were built with a purpose. You were meant to go out there in the world to do something, to be something greater, and to contribute. And being out in nature, for me personally, is a reset. You have something special inside of you, and you were built with a purpose, and you cannot reach that purpose without being stoic. So ultimately, this is going to take time. This is going to take you being intentional. Heck, sometimes I want a petty pass too. I really, really do. But it's not worth it. It would feel good, but it's not worth it. You've got to think before you speak. There's a reason you have two eyes, you have two ears, you have one mouth. If you can listen to a person have a fit and act juvenile with you, and you can keep it together, then you've won. They're essentially arguing with themselves. It takes a fool to argue with themselves. You're bigger than that. You're better than that. Let your actions do the talking. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. That's from James 1:9. It's spiritual growth, and it encourages us to enhance our patience and peace. If you have questions that you'd like for me to answer in a future podcast or topics that you'd like for me to cover, submit them to info@modernkingspodcast.com. You already know what I'm about to ask you to do. Take out your phone, take this episode, and send it to someone that needs a little bit of encouragement in how they deal with situations. As you share it, just tag me on Instagram. I'll be sure to give you a public shout out. But the purpose is to serve and help everyone be a better version of themselves. It would mean a whole lot to me if you left me a 5-star review wherever you listen to this podcast. I appreciate it. Follow me on YouTube @King Prime. Follow me on Instagram @Iam.KingPrime. I'll see you next week. And until then, look your best, do your best, and be your best.